Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. Normally I have a lot of 5.7 by 28mm ammunition videos, but rarely do I have a 5.7 mod video. Well today, check out this flat face adjustable trigger from R.A.N.G.E Perfection. .5.7 is pretty rare when it comes to aftermarket mods. We have a few well-known players in the game, but this is only one of two triggers offered for it. R.A.N.G.E approached me quite a few months ago about reviewing this trigger, and since it's for the 5.7, how could I say no? This flat face trigger is adjustable with a little set screw on the side of the trigger, which I'll show you in a minute, and lets you set pre-travel. Over travel is very minimal and is dependent on how much you may need or may not need to fit the trigger. The trigger shoe on the left here is our factory trigger shoe. The one that's obviously in the gun is the R.A.N.G.E Perfection flat faced. Since YouTube seems to frown upon gunsmithing videos, I wanted to make this more of an overview review video than an installation video. If you are not a fairly competent tinkerer, then I'd recommend sending this to a gunsmith. There may need to be some fitting between the trigger and the safety surfaces that, if not done properly, will result in a lot of over travel. R.A.N.G.E also sells a polished stainless steel firing pin safety that can be installed at the time of the trigger install. This is the factory polymer version that you see right here. I will say I followed their instructions and had no issue getting the trigger installed. I do have a little bit of over travel that I'll show you in a minute because I took a little too much off for fitting, but I can live with it. Adjustment of the pre-travel screw was easy enough to check, and I am pleased with the results. The trigger itself lends to the gun's overall look, and since it has the ability to tighten travel up, I can definitely fire the gun faster. So essentially, to adjust the pre-travel, the set screw is located on the left side of the new flat face trigger, and you'll simply screw the set screw in until you get the desired amount of take up. You always want to make sure that you're checking that the safety can engage, because what you're doing is moving the trigger assembly closer to the manual safety, and if you go too far, you won't be able to take the trigger safety on or off. These are pretty much outlined in R.A.N.G.E.'s instructions. Like I said, I really don't want to go through installation, but essentially to install this, you will have to take the rear fire control group out, and you will have to drive out one of the pins to take out the front manual safety. Here is the polished stainless steel firing pin safety. To install this, you'll need to remove the top cover, remove the rear sight, and then it comes out the top. There is a spring that goes with it. Now, I do have the Ammunition's accurizing kit installed on my 5.7. Specifically, Jay's work aims at lightening the trigger pull of the 5.7. Mine was over 6 pounds. Remember, this is single action when I got mine. Now it sits at a comfortable 3 to 3 1/4 pounds. I will advise that if you purchase R.A.N.G.E.'s firing pin safety and have EA's accurizing kit, you may want to purchase a new spring for the firing pin safety, as mine had been shortened. It was a mere $5 from Midwest Gun Works. I've put 400 plus rounds through this trigger, and the only failure I had was not using the set screw that came with the thread locker on it. It actually kind of backed out and locked up the manual safety, and I couldn't use the gun until I put the right set screw in there. I will continue to evaluate the trigger, and if a failure were to occur, I'll be sure to do a follow-up video. Now, like I mentioned, I did take off a little too much material fitting it. I almost probably could have just installed it without taking any material away. So I do have a little bit of over travel, but here's our take up. I mean, that's not a lot. There's our brake, and you can see there's just a little bit of over travel, just a little bit. And here's our reset. Nice and positive. Again, not a lot of pre-travel. And there you have it. I'd like to welcome R.A.N.G.E Perfection into the world of 5.7 by 28mm firearms. The more interest brought to this platform by manufacturers, the better for us consumers. Maybe someday we can get some Glock budget level adjustable night sights for the USG. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters and you all for watching. I'll drop R.A.N.G.E Perfection's link in the description below, or perhaps a link to a Facebook post that has his link into it so YouTube doesn't get mad at me. Until next time, catch you at the range.